My good people. What up, man? So, again, I come to you today with another service announcement, public service announcement. I want to discuss LeBron James and the things that have been percolating with and surrounding his possible retirement in the next couple of seasons. And I think it's something that Isaiah Thomas said. I think he came on and he's like, yo, I don't get how you guys, how your generation glorifies our generation at the expense of your generation. Right? Like I get the fact that you guys watched us growing up. A lot of you guys idolized a lot of the guys growing up, and fair enough. The 80s and 90s were possibly the most important 2 decades of the NBA. The NBA went from tape delay to frontline news into over 2 decades, and a lot of those guys, and a lot of it was because of the superstars in those decades, right? Your Kareems, your Magics, your Birds, Michael, obviously, and then later on your Kobe's and Shaqs. So yeah, I get the fact that these guys, people will always look back on those 2 decades and be like, these guys are amazing. But truth be told, and I think Isaiah was true, is that you right now have possibly the greatest player to ever play this game. In my opinion, the best possible player of all time. Now, greatest or not, that's subjective. Best, I don't think it's subjective. And I think LeBron has showed you that he's the best possible player of all time. Right? Now, he might not be the best scorer in the nice way that you like to score, but he's got the most points ever. He may not be the flashiest passer, but he's third on the assist list. Right? He may not be the greatest rebounder, but he's going to be top 10 before he retires, or top 20 before he retires. He may not be what had the greatest bag, which is madness. But he gets to his spots and he makes plays. And I think a lot of guys got enamored by the Kobe style of play, the Jordan style of play of backing you down and then doing a bunch of tricks on the block before finishing. That's nice to watch. That's brilliant. Kobe was amazing. So was Michael. But I don't think you should uplift them to denigrate Brown. You know what I mean? And I think Isaiah was completely right. We should be uplifting our own generation. We shouldn't be shitting on our generation in an attempt to uplift the previous generation. Let the old heads are going to keep doing that until they fucking die. They'll always do that. Your Stephen A's, your fucking, all those other motherfuckers in the media, they'll always denigrate our current generation for their generation, which I don't know, which is fair, right? They have a nostalgic attachment to that period. Stephen A still had a fucking hairline in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? They had a real connection with that era that we don't. So I don't understand how, if you don't have a fucking emotional attachment to a Michael Jordan, I don't have I'm 30, 31. I don't have an emotional attachment to a Michael Jordan. I never got to see Michael play. Like I cannot remember watching Michael Jordan live play a game in my whole entire fucking life. Why would I be attached to him? I've never seen him play, right? You know who I've seen play? I've seen Kobe play. I've seen LeBron play. I've seen D Wade. I've seen Melo. I've seen Shaq. I've seen Steph. I've seen KD. I've seen Lillard. I've seen Westbrook. I've seen D Rose. I've seen all those guys. So if my top 10 is filled with those guys instead of those other guys, fuck you. That's my top 10. My thing is, why are we allowing, why are we allowing the 80s and the 90s to dominate top 10 lists? Let's ask ourselves that question. Why are we allowing 80s and 90s to dominate top 10 lists? For example, you ask anybody, right? Rightfully so, they'll have Kareem in the top 10. They'll have Magic in the top 10. They'll have Bird in the top 10. They'll have Jordan, obviously, in the top 10. So those are already 4 top 10 guys from the same era, right? And I don't think no, Wilton Russell, no. So yeah, they'll have 4, possibly 5 guys with Hakeem from all the same era in the top 10. And that's just supposed to be accepted. But when we decide to be like, okay, fine, we've got LeBron, we've got KD, we've got Steph. From our generation, those guys are top 10. No. What do you mean, fuck you? What do you mean, no? For me, perhaps Steph is not top 10 yet. I think he needs to get to 30K points. Once Steph gets to 30K points, he's fucking top 10, right? KD's already top 10 in my books, right? LeBron is number 1. I don't get why we are so afraid of putting our people in front because the old heads keep telling us that their people are so much better. Fuck you. Right? And there's one thing that also pisses me off. I think Shaq says this a lot, whereby he's like, the older generation sit-ups are made the way, right? As if they were trying to make a way. They weren't trying to make shit. They were trying to get paid, right? They were trying to get fucking paid. They didn't go out there and sacrifice. The people that sacrificed got blacklisted and were out the league, right? I'll talk about those guys a bit later, but the guys that stood up for black lives, the guys that stood up for their own religions, especially the Black Panthers and the Muslim movement, those guys got blacklisted. They stood for something. They were trying to pave something. Shaq and all those Barclays, not just even Jordan, they stood for money. They didn't stand for anything outside of money and establishing their own pockets. So I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying this whole idea of like we pave the way. Fuck you. You're in paving the way. You're making money for yourself, and now it's our turn. Get the fuck out the way. You know what I mean? There's few people like Kareem. I can respect Kareem because Kareem really did make sacrifices. He really did make sacrifices to stand for what he believes in. Same as Muhammad Ali, same as an Ali, same as even LeBron now. They made real sacrifices. I guarantee you, if LeBron took the same stance as a Michael and didn't say shit about the political landscape, MAGA would love him. MAGA would love him. They might hate him because he's black, secretly hate him, but they wouldn't have this level of vitriol against him if he didn't stand for black lives and stand against police brutality. If he didn't do all that stuff that he did, especially in Miami, right? Especially if he didn't do all the activism that he did in Miami when he was becoming a man and noticing shit happening around him and doing things in his community. If he didn't do that stuff and he did the same shit that Michael did, which is smoke, drink, and party and gamble, if he was another nigga, they would love him. But anyway, man, that's my 2 cents. Shout out to Isaiah, man, for keeping it real constantly. I'm not and a lot of people are like, oh, he has feud with beef with Jordan has beef. Why the fuck wouldn't he have beef with Jordan? If somebody kept money out of my pocket, because being on the 90, on that dream team, it's legacy. It adds legacy. Being on that gold medal team adds legacy to your name. Michael took that out of Isaiah's pocket. He took him out. Right? As he said, I had the criteria to make it, and I didn't make it because that guy said I couldn't make it. If somebody did that to you, took money millions out of your pocket, why the fuck would you ever forgive him? I'll take every opportunity I get to talk shit, especially if the shit I'm talking is correct. People.